Welcome to the Ward trading card game tutorial video. First off, what is Ward? Ward is a trading card game that aims to bring back that old school feel. Are you sick of over-complex systems? How about requiring half of your deck to be some type of resource card? Have you ever wanted a TCG that actually feels like your summoned creatures are battling each other? Look no more, because here comes Ward. Now, let's begin the tutorial video. There are a few things you will need before you can play your first match. 30 official Ward trading cards. At least one 6-sided die. A way to keep track of creature health points, such as a calculator. And of course, an opponent to play against. The goal of Ward is simple. Destroy enough of your opponent's creatures to equal 300 or more creature health points in their card cemetery. This is done using an incredibly fun and simple dice rolling battle system. Let's start with explaining the different card types. There are 2 card types in the game of Ward. First, let's look at the creature card. A creature card is the main force of a Ward match. Creatures are summoned to the field to battle your opponent's creature through dice rolls. Let's break down the creature card piece by piece. First, we have the creature name. This is important as certain cards only affect creatures with a specific name. Next, we have the creature stats. These stats affect your creature during battle. Armor level, or AL, determines the number your opponent will have to beat during their hit roll to be allowed to then roll their damage dice. A creature's armor level can never exceed 12. This includes any armor level increases. The armor level also determines if your creature requires a sacrifice to be summoned to the field. Next we have speed, or SPD. Speed determines which creature rolls first during battle. Last we have health points, or HP. This is the amount of damage your creature can sustain. If this number reaches 0, your creature has been destroyed and is sent to the card cemetery. Let's move on to the creature type. Creature type is important as certain cards only affect a specific type of creature. Next is the creature image. This is an image of the creature this card represents. The creature image is important as some cards affect different aspects of the creature. For example, a card that only affects creatures with wings. Below the creature image is the card number and rarity. The card number shows where in the set this card falls. The rarity shows how high or low of a chance this card is to be pulled from a pack. Next is the card generation. This shows what generation set this card belongs to. Below the rarity, card number, and generation is the creature bio. The creature bio is a short few sentences to describe what the creature is and how it fits into the Ward story. Next we have the creature attack. The attack is one of the most important parts of a creature card. The first part of the attack is the attack name. Next is the dice rolls. This determines how many dice this creature rolls during the attack roll. Last is the modifier. The modifier is an added bonus to the end result of your hit and attack rolls for this creature. For example, Headless Knight rolls a 5 for its hit roll. Hit roll is always 2 dice. Since 5 is less than 6, this would normally be a miss and he would not be allowed to roll his attack damage roll. However, because Headless Knight has a modifier of +1, this would bring his total hit roll results to 6. Since Green Dragon's AL is 6, Headless Knight successfully hit. After a successful hit, Headless Knight can now roll his damage roll. He would now roll 4 dice and add +1 to the end result. For example, if Headless Knight rolled a 10 total with all 4 dice, he would then add his +1 modifier to the result, bringing it to a final damage of 11. Green Dragon would then subtract the 11 damage from its health points. Below the creature attack is the creature effect box. Not all creatures have an effect. Let's use the creature card Bear Wolf as an example for creature effects. Bear Wolf has an effect that allows him to always attack first during battle. There are many different kinds of creature effects in the game of Ward. This completes the basics of Ward creature cards. Now let's move on to the magic card explanation. Magic cards exist to spice up a Ward match. They can do anything from powering up your primary creature's attack, make your creature immune to damage, freeze your opponent, and so much more. There is no limit to what magic effects can do in Ward. Let's break down the direct aspects of a magic card. First, we have the card name. The card name gives you a quick insight to what the magic card effect is. Next, we have the magic card type. There are 3 types of magic cards in the game of Ward. This card type is a single-use card. This means the card is used and then discarded after the effect completes. Next is the infinite magic card type. Infinite cards stay on the field until destroyed by another card effect, or in some cases the effect ends. Last is the lightning card type. Lightning cards are played from your hand when the conditions on the card are met. Normally, lightning cards are discarded after their effect ends. Many times lightning cards can be played during you or your opponent's turn. Next is the magic card image. This is a picture that gives you a good idea to what this magic card's effect is. Below the magic card image is the card number, rarity, and generation. These were discussed earlier in this video. Last is the magic card effect information box. This tells you exactly what this card's effect is. This is where a magic card will display if it is an equipped card or field card. Equipped cards will attach themselves to a creature and give them different effects. If the creature that an equipped card is attached to leaves the field or switches control, the equipped magic card is destroyed and sent to the cemetery. Next is a field magic card. Field cards act similar to equipped cards, but they stay on the field and are not attached to any specific card. Field cards are not destroyed if your creature leaves the field or switches control. This concludes the creature and magic card breakdown. Now, let's move into a short example of a single Ward turn cycle. A turn cycle consists of the completion of both you and your opponent's turns. To start the game, shuffle your 30-card Ward deck and place it on the table face down. You and your opponent then roll a single die each. The player with the lower roll chooses who will start the match. Ward is played using only common 6-sided die. The player who goes first will then draw 5 cards to start the match. You do not have to show your opponent your hand. After you draw, you must then place a creature card on the field. Unlike many other games, only one creature is allowed on your side of the field. Creatures that have an armor level of 1 to 6 can be summoned directly from your hand to the field. Creatures with an armor level of 7 to 11 require you to send a creature from your side of the field or your hand to the cemetery to summon. Creatures with an armor level of 12 require you to sacrifice 2 creatures from your hand or the field to summon. Sacrificed creatures count toward your total cemetery health pool. You cannot sacrifice a creature if it would put your total cemetery health pool over the 300 max. Once you've completed the creature summoning portion of your turn, it's now time to use magic cards. You can play as many magic cards as you wish during your turn. However, remember that only 5 infinite magic cards can be on your side of the field at a time. Once you have finished using your magic cards, it's time to move into the battle phase of your turn. Players cannot attack during the first turn of the match, but for this video, we will discuss the battle steps. As you may remember from earlier, battles are decided through dice rolls. For this battle, we will use Steam Wolf against our opponent's Baby Dino. First, we determine who is faster based on the speed stat. Baby Dino has a speed of 6, where Steam Wolf's speed is 10. Steam Wolf will start the battle. First, you roll 2 dice to determine if you hit your opponent's creature. Once again, the total amount of our hit dice, plus our creature's modifier, must be equal to, or greater than our opponent's creature's armor level. If you have a successful hit roll, you now use your creature's attack to do damage. Steam Wolf's attack is 1 dice rolled plus 6. After rolling your attack roll, your opponent must subtract the attack roll damage from their creature. However, the battle is not over. Your opponent will get to return attack against you, even though it's your turn. This would consist of the same steps you took when you battled, including a hit roll and attack roll. Now that the battle phase of your turn is finished, we now move into the wrap-up phase of your turn. This portion of your turn allows you to use any magic cards you would like before ending your turn. Once you are finished with your turn, you let your opponent know you are done. It would now be your opponent's turn. They will take the same phases that you did during your turn. The phases of a turn include draw phase, magic phase, battle phase, second magic phase. Let's assume your opponent moves to battle you during their turn. Steam Wolf is still faster, so he would begin the battle. After Steam Wolf finishes his battle steps, it's now Baby Dino's turn. Let's assume Baby Dino misses his hit roll. He would not be allowed to roll his attack dice rolls, and the battle portion would end. Your opponent may then use any magic cards prior to ending their turn. Once their turn has ended, one turn cycle has completed. Take note, during a hit roll there are critical hits and critical misses. A critical hit is when all of your hit roll dice are 6, double the end result of your damage dice. If you roll 2 once for your hit roll, this is a critical miss. This means you don't get to roll your damage roll and instead must roll 1 damage dice against yourself. Take note. If you ever find yourself with no creature on your side of the field, the match pauses until you play a creature. You must always have a creature on the field. If you ever find yourself with no creature on the field and no playable creatures in your hand, you must then shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw the same number of cards sent. If you have no cards in your hand and no creature on the field, draw from your deck until you have a playable creature. Shuffle the remainder of the drawn cards back into the deck. If you have no summonable creatures in your hand or deck, you lose the match. Thank you for watching this short tutorial video on Ward the trading card game. We are confident Ward will be your new favorite game to play with friends. Head to www.ward-cardgame.com to grab your first starter pack today. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Finally, prepare yourself to turn the tides of Ward.